And I kind of joke at my own expense about being a bit of a Victor Meldrew about this, but I really am. I've got absolutely no tolerance for people who think that antisocial behaviour of any kind is somehow funny or small fry or acceptable because it isn't desperately serious crime. They're two different things, but that doesn't matter. That they should both be policed one way or another. And persistent antisocial behaviour where you live, whether it's noise, whether it's, you know, youngsters throwing eggs at your house, all of these things have happened to people I know. People throwing eggs at your house, dogs barking endlessly. I've had that one. Graffiti on your house. I've had that one. And the council expected me to pay for it to be cleaned off. Pay them to clean it off, which I thought was rather odd. But anyway, perhaps you don't. Perhaps you think I should have paid for it. Anyway, I didn't in the end. But if I had got my hands on the people graffitiing my fence, I would have, obviously I wouldn't have heard them, but I would have expected them to clean it off. And if it was within my power to make them clean it off, I would have. And so I'm kind of and this is not, Labour have come up with some ideas about antisocial behaviour. Think graffiti for a sec. It's none of it's new, particularly. There have been, cycles of offenders doing community work, clearing things up, rebuilding things, clearing ditches, whatever it is. But I'm a big fan of the idea that when it comes to antisocial behaviour that involves damage to people's property, if you can put the offender into a position where he or she fixes, if not the property they vandalised, then someone else's property that was vandalised as part of their sentencing, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Take them back to the scene of the crime and make them fix what they can fix. I really am. Because I cannot see how we wouldn't take seriously, because it is often young people with graffiti. I can't see how we wouldn't take that seriously if somebody thinks that on someone else's home they can just vandalise it. I had a gate post of mine, it was a tiny bit loose, and somebody just helpfully made it very loose and just pushed it to the floor. So this stone shattered everywhere. And I'm hoping they broke their toes when it happened, but I'll never know because they just ran off. It's quite a heavy stone. But, things like that cost me a fortune to fix, la la la. But that kind of thing happens all over the place. And I don't live in an area where there's a high level of antisocial behaviour, but I can reel off parties that shouldn't be as loud as they are at 3 a.m. on a Wednesday, teenagers. I am Victor Meldrew, I know. A dog barking 2 doors up endlessly all day because the dog was being neglected, clearly, which I reported. Never really did anything. Noise, graffiti. And I don't live in an area that's especially bad, and yet I've had all of that, which shows you how normal antisocial behaviour is. And, we've already had the conversation about music being played loudly on trains and things. That's antisocial behaviour too. But we're all too afraid to squeak about it, to speak up about it. And it becomes normal. That's part of the problem.